animals owned? Animals are owned. Why is it? Why is there a premise for animals being owned? Because animals are property without a soul. Now I know that people argue, I love my cat and I love my dog. I have a whole bunch of cats and I have had a whole bunch of dogs, and I like them and love them, and I would protect them. Hopefully they protect me first. That's what the dogs are for. Okay. Good. No, not the black uniform. I need the boots. No. Okay. But the point is that they're still animals. They're a lesser order. We stand in a higher position. But if you're a state and you're trying to figure out, how do I get past this person's thought process? What, as an amoeba, can I use to get where I need to get him by the throat? One of the things is to demean him, is to make him of lesser standing. And that's where the animal idea comes in. That's what the whole concept is, yes. Let me give you an example of that too. How many people know that in a lot of states, right on line with this, that right now if you kill a police dog, it's the same as killing a police officer?
Yeah.
Oh, right here in Austin.
Does that make any sense to you, any of you?
No.
Go down and slap the horse on 6th Street and see what happens.
Oh, well, yeah. That can be given as a civil, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. You slapped an officer, it's an assault, 15 years. The point is, there's two things the police officers fail to acknowledge. Number one, it puts them at the level of the dog. They thought the dog was elevated. It puts them at the level of the dog. But it puts your dog below their dog. It puts you below the dog. So if they're equal to the dog, notice I didn't say the dog's equal to the police officer, and we now put all of them over everybody else, that's a pretty low situation, isn't it, people? But that's part of the downward process, the falling into the dust, the collapse of the whole process that has made civilization either great or taken it into oblivion.
Okay, Mark, you're a military man. What's the first thing they do when you go into basic training?
Well, the idea is discipline, teach you, and of course, not break, but the idea is to keep you in line, put you into a particular mindset.
Dogs, get out there and do this.
That's right. Train to respond in a certain way. Now, here's the thing, and that's what's most important. In basic, yes, but again, the advantage we had, and I know this has changed, by the way, too, in the MLS that I had, the advantage we had is that they needed free thinkers. And it was the window of time, it was the fact a lot of people were leaving, so we ended up with a different school and a different group of people. Example, I graduated 13th, oh, this is going to love this, anybody who's into numbers are going to go, oh my God. I graduated 13th out of a class of 33. Okay, oh yay, right? No, I'm sorry, we didn't plan it that way. There's a couple other kids that were, that were some of the smartest whips in the unit, in the formation. And it's interesting that we were the second highest class to graduate as 94B intelligence analysts, and still our class holds its rating to this day in the year 2008. So most of my counterparts, myself included, were recruited into very critical positions all through the world. Many of them only sat for a few days and were actually expedited overseas to specific positions, or in the Pentagon, or at Fort Devens, or staying at Fort Huachuca, which was U.S. Army Intelligence Center West. And we did a lot of interesting things in the process and got a chance to see a lot of things firsthand. But one of the things when people ask what changed Mark, for instance, like a lot of you guys that are military, is, well, what is it? What happened? Why is it that you changed your mind about it? Well, I didn't change my mind. Number one, like I said, I was fortunate. As I grew up, my parents were the oldest of 8 on both sides. My father was the oldest of 8 on his side. My mother was the oldest of 8 on her side. Both of them had grown up in the Depression. Both of them were, everybody got hit, okay? They saw firsthand the experience of the Depression, and so they taught me differently. And I know they did, because I've seen the way other people were taught and how people have responded over the years. That helped me. Plus my father, and I will give him absolute credit on this, did what we do. He didn't say, hey, look at that poster over there. He said, what do you see over there on the wall? So he taught first by forcing me to observe, to look at something and turn it around and break it and take it apart. Okay? Also, I was really good at hunting too, so I enjoyed killing a lot of things. And we ate well. Okay? But the point is,
obvious.
The thing is that in the long run, this helped me when I went into other areas, other spheres. But when you go in the military, the first thing when you see goofiness, you go, man, these people must be stupid. Why would you do this and destroy or undermine the system in this way, or attack the system in this way, or why aren't you doing a better job at something? And you step back, and after a while, as you receive more responsibility and you become part of the system, in one form or another, you realize, wait a minute, this is not an accident. Wait a minute, this is even worse. This is much worse than saying it was an accident and he's goofy. This is intentional. This is a series of actions that are doing something that is criminal. Then you get into other problems. Now, a little quick note on this thing, like with torture. How many people, if you're around after Vietnam, y'all remember, now it's a sore spot, is the My Lai incident is what changed a lot of policies with regard to how we taught junior NCOs, NCOs, and officers how to operate, okay? When this happened, there was a whole school of indoctrination to teach people how to give orders. Like when you say, when you do teach people, do it, you do it in such a way that if a man realized that an order was faulty, you could override it. Now, that doesn't mean they wouldn't try to change things. I'll touch on something here real quick. How many people watch sci-fi? I do. How many people watch Battlestar Galactica? How many people have seen the Razor series? The Razor series, remember with Captain Kill 'Em All?